Welcome to Pumpkin Boy Podcast. We got here Brown Bear, Piccolo, Spider-Man, and I'm RoboCop. Spooked.
Welcome to the Cardinals Nest Podcast,
Redo it.
the most popular podcast on iTunes and all the social media podcast apps out there. Most importantly, number one on CastBox. Thank you very much.
Hell yeah.
Was that the intro you wanted?
It's not the one you wanted. It's the one we deserved.
Pumpkin Boy, let's go. Continue. So what? Next on the docket is there's a big brown bear walking around stealing garbage cans. Now, where do you feel on this position? I heard that they want to kill it, but are you for tranquilizers or bullets?
So this is our second time. Wait, is this your guys' second podcast of all time?
Yes.
Okay. Well, no, we did a few together. This is the second, all of us together.
Yes. Second time
And
around.
our first one was a major hit. It was the most popular podcast to
Ever.
hit internet.
Yeah.
I want to cover up more of my face. Not because I'm ashamed, but because I'm sad and I can't hide it.
We want to see your face, Joe.
You want to see the dead eyes.
They're tired
Soulless
eyes.
eyes.
They're eyes that have seen
Eyes of a madman.
sadness.
So, welcome back to the Cardinals Nest Podcast. I know everyone out there has been asking for another episode. Almost every single day, I get like a million comments saying, where is the Cardinals Nest Podcast? The most popular podcast of all time. Where is it? We want more of it. Well, here you go. Here we are again. Back at you. Here it is.
Round two.
Fight.
You guys got anything on your mind?
Oh.
Well, you know what? I saw this bird shit on a car.
Today?
No.
Oh.
When did you see it? Was it live when you saw it however long ago, or was it on the internet?
I don't remember.
So, speaking of that, it reminds me we went to Chipotle a few weeks ago before Halloween.
You
Remember?
shit on a car?
No, worse.
He was that bird.
So, I was sitting in the parking lot waiting for Steve.
Yeah.
This is the day that traffic was horrendous. So, you left. I want to say he told me he left about a half hour prior. And then he texted me and he goes, I'm still at this road. And I'm like, geez. So I'm sitting there, and all of a sudden I hear what sounded like a bird slam into my window, my back window of my car.
Turns out it was a naked man.
No. So I'm looking around. I'm like, where's this bird? Like, I usually you can see like a grease mark on the glass from a bird hitting it. I don't see anything. Okay, so whatever. So I'm waiting for Steve. He finally shows up. I get out. It looks like an elephant took a shit on the back of my car. It was from like one of those Canadian geese up above.
Don't bring elephants into this.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
And that piece of shit got some speed and hit the. I'm surprised it didn't break my window. And it was all over the top of my car, the side of the car. It looked like someone intentionally had a vendetta against my vehicle.
Hate to break it to you, I was the one that shit on that car.
That's what I'm talking about. baby.
Oh, that's
Geese
that
don't
ain't
have
cool.
teeth, correct?
I don't
No,
think
not
so.
anymore. Not since I removed them.
What I really want to know, and all the listeners and viewers at home really want to know, is where were you guys for Halloween?
I was actually passing out candy dressed like this exact outfit. And yeah, that was my night.
Joe?
I was on Tinder. I got one match, and I sent her a GIF, a Jeff Goldblum GIF.
Oh, that's the
and
best
she,
kind of
she
gift.
never responded.
Oh,
But,
you need to delete that girl.
no, I didn't. Yeah, well, I'm still waiting.
I give her 0
That was
out
only
of
a
10
couple weeks ago.
Goldblums.
She could still respond.
There's hope.
Halloween day, I was out having a couple drinks, but what came before Halloween was a thing in Detroit called Theater Bazaar. It was a masquerade
yeah.
party. It had 7 floors of just people wearing masks and just getting drunk and live music. I actually walked into a room. There's all these different rooms you can walk into. And one room I just walked into, this one lady she was getting tied up. She was getting tied up, and I watched it for like an hour. And I was just sitting there with all these guys wearing
Did
masks.
you do an intro with like everybody who's everybody is or no?
No one cares.
No one cares. Okay. Forget that.
You want to do an intro?
I don't know.
All right, Jeff.
Are they aware this is the same cast? I mean,
Well, yeah, this is the same cast from episode 1.
whatever.
Good to be here. Good to be back. Episode 1 was a major hit, major success. I've been hearing around the podcast block that it is
Up
currently
for-
number 1 podcast of all time.
Yeah,
Episode
it's up
1.
for a nomination.
Yeah, up for podcast best.
We're winning
podcast.
Oscar, I heard.
Yeah, we need to redo this intro again. This sucks.
Intro was good.
No, the intro.
We'll do one
was
more
great.
intro, but
One more.
I'll probably end up using it
Yeah,
anyway.
just
What if we made a podcast where it's just
I gotta shut my phone off. Hold on.
You can leave your phone on.
I'm gonna put it on moon mode.
What are we
it
talking
was
about?
just all
This keeps
intros.
going off.
Sad part of the intro is the truth that nobody cares who we are.
A little backstory to these little pumpkins is I wanted to do a Halloween episode, but now we're already, like a year past Halloween.
It is Christmas time. Have you been a good ghoul? Have you been a bad stool?
Ooh.
Now that right there is a good intro. because it gets people thinking.
Well, Santa Claus is coming.
So don't end the sentence there. No.
What I really want to talk about, this man right here. I don't know how you guys feel about it, but this bat over here, this Batman, he really doesn't like Christmas music when it comes on.
I don't.
I hate
Thank
Christmas
you for bringing
music.
that up.
You hate Christmas music?
Yeah.
Oh,
I
no.
absolutely hate it.
I physically threw my radio out the window this year.
I saw that Snapchat.
Yeah, there was a Snapchat. I threw my
much,
radio
but-
out the first day they played.
Why do you not like Christmas music so much?
Actually, it's not the fact that I don't like Christmas
just-
music, because I do like it. That it gives you that kind of warm, fuzzy feeling. But I like it at the right time. Like I don't like it in November before Thanksgiving. Like it just seems kind of off. That's like,
But see, I don't
like
have
playing-
feelings, so I don't get that fuzzy feeling. My problem is it's just been overplayed. It's the same 5 songs every single year,
yeah,
and it's
all
overplayed. It's
different
on
versions.
a constant loop.
there's more than 5 songs.
But there's like 20
There's
songs.
about-
There's like maybe
There's
6.
about-
Maybe 6.
200 that are remixes.
But it's like everybody has to take a
and-
stab at it.
The
Everybody's
point
gotta do
is,
their
though,
own
it's
thing.
the
But-
same repetitive music played over and over again every single year.
But, like,
it
I
just
like
gets
it.
Here in
tiring.
Michigan, when we still have 60-degree days in like November occasionally, and we're getting Christmas music playing, it's kind of like, okay, it's not.
It's only and plus it's played November
I
and
know, I'm not
December.
ready for
dude,
that
1
yet.
month.
But I always get confused that people get angry when they play it in November, the beginning of November, because it's not like it's changed in the last 20 years. That's how it's always
I know,
been.
and
just
it's
feel-
still frustrating.
I feel
How do you
bad.
feel
It's not
about it, Joe?
Christmas.
I love Christmas music. I love Christmas, even though I know it's a sham, just like everything else in life. But I can pretend for a minute that it's a good time of year, that everyone can be happy. Plus, Thanksgiving's stupid. Who cares about
But
that? Move on to
how
Christmas.
I see-
Christmas is Thanksgiving, but you get presents.
How I feel about Halloween is that Halloween bleeds into Christmas. It bleeds through
Yeah,
Thanksgiving
basically.
into Christmas.
Basically.
They should probably get that checked out.
Check the holiday doctor.
Yeah.
I probably should check that out. No, I love getting in the the Halloween theme, and even now I'm still in it. Like, what's today's? I don't want to talk. I don't want.
We're not bringing up timestamps.
Why don't we
again.
Fuck.
want to say the day?
Let's talk about how how
It's-
3 of us went to the bar dressed up and nobody else was dressed up.
We could say it's still October, and then talk about Kevin Spacey and how great, how much of a stand-up guy he is, and then when we release it, because we're gonna say it's October.
Pumpkin
then-
Man is coming. Are you ready to get your little pumpkin spice treats?
Ooh, I'm gonna smash those
Starbucks
pumpkin
ladies.
treats. Oh,
You smash the pumpkin, you get a little gift. Now, what's going to be your gift of choice?
you should shut that chair up over there. All right,
I got a topic.
WD-40.
Wait, let's start this podcast off right.
Yeah,
Jeff,
let's-
give us the intro.
Hello, everybody. There's your host right there, Steve Cardinal. To my right is Ty Scott. To my left is Joe, the Bumblebee Nash.
Nope.
And
And we are here for a special Halloween episode coming at you.
Redo it.
redo.
Bring it back. Bring it
I
back.
want my last name.
No last names.
No last
right?
name. I'm
Sorry.
leaving the first take in though, but we'll take it in.
I won't do any.
Bleep out my name.
You want to bleep out?
I want
Steve, what do I do with my
It'd be like
hands?
Joe.
I don't know. I don't know what to do.
bleep out the Bumblebee part. Keep my first and last name.
Okay, let me get this straight. Do you guys want last names?
I
You want
don't-
last names or no? I'll just
want-
do first names.
I just
be
want to
safe.
die already.
Yeah, just
My
give
life
our first name. All right, Jeff.
going downhill.
Jeff, give us the intro real quick.
Over there is Steve Cardinal, your host,
The Panda Man.
the Panda Man. To my right is Mega Man, a.k.a. Ty. To my left is the Bumblebee, also known as Joe. And we are the original cast. Oh, I forgot to mention myself. My name is Jeff, a.k.a. Prince Eric. But we are the original cast from the first episode. We're back to kick ass a second time around.
Original cast from the award-winning, Oscar-winning for podcast.
Everything winning.
It won the #1 podcast of all time.
Yeah.
Oscar said, "We like this podcast. We will make a film on it." And you know what? They are making that film right now.
They are.
It was
And
great.
we are back for the Halloween special edition.
Let's start off by saying, what is your favorite Kevin Spacey movie?
Oh, God.
Come on,
Oh, come on.
Don't go that route already.
It's still October, so we don't know that he's a creep yet.
Oh, my
Steve,
God.
you could do like a lost episode that's just all this stuff not getting used.
It'd be hilarious.
the blooper reel.
Yeah.
Yeah, heavy blooper reel.
we could talk about our best Halloween memories.
What is
Yeah,
your
that's
best
good.
pumpkin boy?
And it is the original group from episode 1, and we are back at you. We
got our facelifts and everything.
for the best podcast about
Oh,
her.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
And that's a wrap.
When was the last time you guys bought new underwear?
Ooh, I
you know,
love
I was
buying
thinking
new
about
underwear.
doing that actually today.
You ever go to Walmart and buy a fresh little pack of 4, 5, 6?
Like
How
the
many do they
Hanes.
come with?
You know, like sometimes when you need to buy new ones because when you're walking, like the insides of
Has a little poop coming out.
No, it's like worn out. Like it's starting to get see through from your legs. Just kind of. It's how many miles your legs have. You know.
Your legs.
Your legs do
From all the walking, you putting on hundreds of
I thought you
miles
said
in a year.
lips at first.
What?
My legs have lips.
I thought you were talking about your lips.
No.
Can we do an intro again?
Welcome back to the Cardinal's Nest. I'm Batman, and there's your host, Steve Cardinal.
Batman.
To my right is Ty, a.k.a. Mega Man. And to my left is Joe, the sad bumblebee.
If I turned on a podcast and started like that, I would turn it off immediately.
Well, that right there is going to be the intro then. Because anyone that sticks around beyond that, they're here for the right reason. I thought it was pretty awesome.
Thank you.
We just saw Justice League. It wasn't half that bad. It was a lot better than Batman vs Superman and Suicide Squad for sure.
I heard it was good because of how bad it was.
Really?
Yes.
Rotten Tomatoes ripped it.
Was it really? I mean, how could it be better than Batman v Superman? That's a modern day masterpiece.
You know what? If a movie doesn't look like a nightmare, it's a disappointment.
Yeah. I like my Superman movies to be miserable and hard to watch and make me feel
Like crying.
Yeah. Like I'm in someone's nightmare.
It's
And I heard this one has a little bit of fun in it. The Justice League movie.
it's
I don't
fun.
want that in my Superman
Fun's for
Batman
me.
He
movies.
has some good CGI
This
lip,
is-
though. I'll tell you that.
a lot of
This
CGI.
is serious. You know, a man dressed up as a bat and a man in blue tights flying around. Like I want that serious.
What's wrong with dress up as a bat?
No, that's what I'm saying. It should be taken very seriously.
Oh, yeah. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. See? Everybody who's...
I want to
said
see a
negative
Superman
things
that cries.
A stripper man?
Superman.
Kinda
I would like to
gets
see a
the
stripper
point. He almost gets the
Superman,
point
though.
of
Seeing a
tears.
grown man cry always it's hard to watch.
If you had to go to the show and watch a movie, a guy crying for 2 straight hours, could you sit through it?
Or could you sit through it and not cry?
Yeah.
Ooh.
I don't
Yeah,
know. If
you
I'm watching
think you
someone
might-
cry,
What's
Like
your
the-
favorite
the-
depressing
The
movie?
depression gets
Ooh.
addicting after a while. So
you
you start
guys
crying.
remember?
Your favorite feel-bad movie?
Feel bad.
favorite, like,
Ooh. Oh, God.
I mean, I like. You remember Shiloh?
Ah, yeah.
Shiloh was a good one.
Or no,
There
My
was
Dog Skip.
My Dog Skip.
That's the first movie I ever cried at.
There was also. I know you. What's it called? Click was pretty good. Pretty sad.
Click, yeah. I guess. I know you guys aren't a huge Adam Sandler movie.
No.
I like Punch Drunk Love.
Punch Drunk Love
Yeah.
is fantastic.
Excellent
I
one.
just watched it and I love
I was
it.
trying to borrow it from Joe, but someone already had it.
I did. I'm sorry.
It's a good
Well,
movie,
you can
though.
now.
It's
It's
on
on
Netflix
Netflix.
now.
It is on Netflix. I
on
gotta go
Netflix.
check that out.
Favorite feel-bad movie is Alien 3. Everyone hates it. I love it.
Really?
Yeah.
Feel bad as in it makes you sad, or
Yeah,
feel
no,
bad?
it's just a
It
bummer
is-
movie.
You feel really.
You
Quite
feel-
depressing.
You feel depressed after it.
Yeah.
It's good
All
at
right.
that, and I like it.
All right, real quick. We are all back. The same crew from episode 1. We are back for the Halloween special. Only about, a couple weeks after Halloween. No
Yeah.
big deal. We're back, though.
Whatever. We tried. A for effort.
And I just want to say, you guys, we all got to make sure we're close to the mics.
I keep hitting it with my
Because
nose.
the biggest comment from the first episode 1 was that
Yep.
everyone's so far from their mics. Steve's really close, but everyone else is so far away. Fuck you, Steve.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, you guys are coming in good. I have headphones on under the panda suit.
Now, what about the big brown boy hiding in the sewer?
What about him?
What do you think?
He's pretty big and he's brown.
Hiding in the sewer.
And he smells. And the way when he looks at you, it's hard to look away. It's scary, but it's hard to look away.
Doesn't it kind of scare you though that there's
He's
a whole
big
like
brown man.
well, I mean, just in general sewers there's a whole labyrinth underneath us at
Oh
all
yeah.
times.
It's like Disney World.
Yeah, Disney World, yeah.
Who
like
lives
Disney
there?
full of hiding, like big brown men.
You know, and we send stuff their way every day. Maybe they don't want what we're sending.
Sometimes if you look in a
Maybe they're
manhole,
coming
he'll
back.
just look up at you and go,
revenge.
You kind of wonder. You kind of wonder if you go down a sewer, could you possibly get to Disney World if you kept
No.
traveling?
no, the crocodiles will get you first.
There's no
they
crocodiles
would.
up here.
It's science.
They would get you.
And if they don't, the crazy.
It's probably going to connect somehow.
So, all the viewers, all the listeners, they really want to know what were we all doing Halloween, either Halloween day or Halloween the week leading into Halloween. What the fuck were we doing?
Well, first we got to start off before Halloween. What the three of us did that one night.
Oh, we went to the bar.
Yes, we went to the bar, dressed up, and we were probably one of the few people actually dressed up.
Well, it was a Halloween costume bar night.
Supposedly.
It was.
Yeah.
So, because people were dressed up, but when we got there, like
Half the people were.
it was weird because you would think everyone, you have an excuse to dress up,
Yeah.
but you're not dressing up. What's
I
really
know.
going on?
I know.
Kind of upset me, but we were looking good though. You were dressed as I was a panda.
Yeah.
He was a bumblebee, and you were
I was actually a frog.
a grumpy
A
frog.
grumpy frog.
I think they were onto something though, not dressing up because it was hard to to get some ladies in a Bumblebee suit.
If I remember correctly, you were surrounded by. They were buzzing.
They kept taking off your, little headpiece.
But they were taking my antennas, so I told them to
buzz
off. I wanted to say it.
Sorry, I didn't say anything.
Start from the top.
Okay.
That was such a Dennis Reynolds
Restart.
So, wait, what part?
No,
Well, I don't even want to tell the story anymore.
You had the ladies buzzing around you the whole night.
they were buzzing. They were buzzing all over you, Joe.
Yeah, I remember that clearly.
And then what's my line? what am I supposed to
Leave that
what did
in.
I say?
It was a big bar we were at, and there's a lot of people, and I want to say maybe like 30% tops was dressed up.
Yeah, 25-30%.
Yeah, and we were like, there's the panda bear, the bumblebee, and then I was dressed as a frog, and there's just these
Please
three.
call me Panda Man, not Panda Bear.
Panda man,
Panda Man, please.
panda man.
Pandemonium.
Oh, remember 1080 snowboarding? That
Oh yeah, Nintendo
there was
64.
you could play as like the Panda Man. You could unlock
I
him.
don't remember that.
I heard that was an unlockable costume for Tekken 12.
There's a panda in that, and a kangaroo.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And a little dinosaur.
Yeah.
Mega Man, what were you doing Halloween week?
Yeah.
I was
Anything
crying alone in a corner.
Anything fun?
I was jacking off.
Do you do anything special besides jack off to get in the Halloween mood?
Watch the movies, draw.
Do you draw like more of darker Halloween type things? Or?
I do. I like to draw monsters.
Hell yeah. I was watching, I actually got recently back into Child's Play because a new one just came out, but people don't consider Child's Play a classic. Some people don't, but I do. I love Child's Play because growing up, it's one of the very few movies that scared the hell out of me. I was looking for any excuse just to like put these pumpkins to use.
And they got good use tonight.
They're getting. I think it's setting the whole theme for our Halloween special, right? And we got a little All Real Monsters up in front. We got little pop figures up in front.
Yeah.
A little Crumb over here. Oblina, Ickis over there.
I remember the 90s.
Yeah.
I remember.
Only 90s kids will remember.
All Real Monsters still holds up. It's a great show.
Yeah. I mean,
It's a very good show.
Like, Hey Arnold's coming back.
Hey Arnold's a great show.
I don't know if it's necessarily coming back, but
Well, they're making a movie.
yeah,
making
that's
a
what it
movie.
was.
They're making a movie.
to conclude the
Yeah,
cliffhanger
Rocco's. They
ending.
made that little short for Rocco Modern.
Nickelodeon's making a few moves right now.
I thought Rocco's Modern Life was coming back.
Is it?
I think
for a
mo-
new
yeah, I
season,
think
or was
that-
that just
I
I
know
think
they
it's
did
coming
that.
back, but I know
They
Hey
did the one
Arnold's
where
the
he
movie.
came back to like the present day, which
Remember
was
when
awesome.
Cartoon Network tried all that with Powerpuff Girls and Samurai Jack? Oh,
Samurai
Jack
Jack's
was
back
good.
now.
That was a good one.
Powerpuff Girls, I heard, got
was
more
bad.
negative.
That's-
See, I didn't watch it yet, but you said you watched the new
'Cause-
Powerpuff Girls.
it's
Misses the
not
point.
good.
But
Is
to
the
give a little,
animation
but to give a little
still the
backstory, I think we all enjoyed the first.
The
Powerpuff-
original
yeah, the original Powerpuff Girls.
The problem is it's a completely different creative team, and they're aiming for a completely different.
I didn't know about Power. Is the animation
Craig
the same?
McCracken?
No, the animation's completely different.
I know
Misses the
Samurai
point.
Jack's a little different, isn't it?
Yeah, the Samurai Jack's is close enough. It's the same creative team at least.
Yeah.
But no, with Powerpuff Girls, there was always like all the characters were angular and pointed, and then the girls themselves were rounded. It was supposed to be the contrast between that. Now everything's rounded, everything's soft. They missed the point for that show.
Well, the whole point of Powerpuff Girls is like the juxtaposition that you have these
cute
little
little
girls
girls
and they're
in a harsh
cute and
world.
everything,
Yeah.
but they're the most excessively violent characters in any cartoon ever.
You don't
And then
mess
the
with
new
them.
show is them going to school, and that's it.
Yeah,
I didn't watch it, so I can't really judge it. But I have a friend that said it wasn't even that bad. That said he enjoyed it.
Your friend's an idiot.
I've heard a lot more bad than good. I still think my friend is dope as hell, but I gotta watch it myself. Unfortunately, I gotta give it maybe an episode or two.
Samurai Jack was good. The new one.
Okay.
Never
They
really
play it-
watched
they
the
play it
original
late at
show.
night.
The original one, I wasn't into it when I was a kid, but going back to it, it's actually a lot of fun.
Favorite '90s show? Go.
Neon Genesis Evangelion.
I think probably when I was younger, it's got to be Rugrats.
Live action or cartoon?
We'll go cartoon. We're all going cartoon.
I guess Dragon Ball Z.
Oh yeah.
But that
That was
was
technically 80s,
well,
but it did go
but
into
like
the
most of
90s.
its
I guess
run was in the
really,
90s.
Yeah.
And like it
Especially
came over
for
to
America.
America.
Yeah,
Like
that's
I
right.
watched
Yeah.
it in
With
the
Dragon
90s
Ball
on
Z, they
Gianna.
had a new episode every single day, right? Back when we were going to school.
To an extent, because they
Because
would
I
do it
w-
in seasons,
Well,
basically.
we were
where then they
behind
would do
6 or
repeats,
7
yeah.
years from Japan. Japan
Okay.
was already
I just
on
remember
GT.
They were on GT when we were.
I
young.
just
Yeah,
remember
like
going to.
Yeah.
I would come home from school and at like 3 or 4, it would come on every single day, continuation. Like it was new episode every single day after school. It was crazy.
until they got to
It was the summertime is when they would do like repeat episodes because they were dubbing the next.
the episode
many
before
episodes.
Goku turned Super Saiyan against
Yep, there's
Frieza.
that
They would get to
cliffhanger.
that, and then they would start the show over
Yep.
from the first
The
episode of
rival
Dragon Ball Z,
yeah.
and they keep doing that because
I love Dragon Ball Z.
They had to dub it.
they had to dub it still.
Yeah, and it took a long time back then.
Took a long time, so you had to buy the VHS tapes for $20. The edited
3
VHS.
episodes.
Okay, so there was
Yeah.
the edited episodes,
And
which
the
they took
uncut,
out like
yeah.
blood and stuff,
Yeah.
and then there was the uncut episodes,
Yeah.
which were like $30,
Yeah.
and there was 3 to 4 episodes in each tape.
Yeah.
So today you get that you get a whole
could get
season
it
for
in
that.
Oh
Yep.
yeah.
But
Yeah,
back
it's
in the
a lot
day,
cheaper now.
Getting anime.
Yeah. It was
Getting
so
anime
tough.
at Suncoast in
Dude,
the mall.
Suncoast is so
Oh
awesome.
yeah.
Oh, man.
Wow.
For 4 episodes, it usually costs you about $30.
Forgot about that.
Yeah.
Damn,
And that's if you want like
yeah, that really makes you feel dated.
man.
the edited versions or no, it was like regardless. I can't remember the exact price, but it was $30, $25 to $30 at
$25
least.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
You think for a
For
VHS?
3 episodes.
But
too.
if you did end up buying one of the tapes, like when we were on the Frieza saga
Yeah.
on
sides of
TV,
them? Oh.
I got the Trunks VHS tape, and I was the cool kid for a day.
Oh, yeah, you'd get it before it aired, yeah.
Oh,
everyone-
yeah.
After school, all the kids came over my
Would
house.
you tell them that you had it at school then, right?
Yeah,
Like,
I
hey,
was talking about like, oh yeah, because everyone had all the action figures of these characters.
That's how we met.
I rebought all my action figures.
Same here,
That's
same here.
I think my parents gave them away.
That's what happens. Though. You have all these action figures over time. You know, your
I
parents
still
or
have all
whatever.
my Ninja Turtles.
I'm happy we
I wish
rebought
I had
them.
my Ninja Turtles.
That's
still.
what I should have said.
No.
Ninja
Oh, remember the
Turtles,
Ninja
that's another one.
Turtles? Their bus or the van.
I
the
used
van.
to have that
Yes.
Yeah. The door slid on the side and the roof opened up.
That's what I'm
Mhm.
thinking of.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
But
It's been a while.
Even I had a bunch of Batmobile stuff too.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I had the whole Bat Cave, like the Barbie version of the
that
Bat
too.
Cave.
remember the,
Which version did you have? Because
Oh, the Batcave?
the one that like opened up in threes. It had that chamber where you could put the action figure in and you could spin it and he'd
Yeah.
disappear.
Oh
Oh,
man.
it's so cool.
They had the exact same Batcave repainted
uh-huh.
like 4 or 5 times because every time a new movie came
Yeah.
out, they repainted it so that
I remember because, sorry.
like
but
on the computer screens, they would change the stickers
Exactly.
to like the characters in the movies.
Yeah.
I had the
for me,
animated
same
series
here.
one.
Oh,
And yet
no
the
way.
door
cousin-
still had
No way.
Batman, like the
Yeah.
original movie.
I always-
But my
version,
cousin
yeah.
had
The little-
the Batman Returns one, and
Remember
I
the-
always liked Batman
Remember the
Returns as a
glass
kid.
would break on the
Yeah.
ceiling and it would always fall off. We'd always have to put it back on.
I had the Batman Returns Batmobile that would
Oh,
turn
yeah.
into the Bat Pod.
I had a few Batmobile.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah,
man.
that was so cool.
And I had the penguin toy, the not the Batman Returns one, but the animated series one.
Yeah.
And I always used to suck on his head because I don't know why, but I just the way he was
just like sucking on the head.
I don't know if
I don't-
Batman's still dominating the toy business, but I know back
I don't
then
think so.
he was
You guys-
slaying the
okay.
game.
the quality of action figures today, since Mattel and companies like that don't make toys
It's
anymore.
amazing. Yeah.
No, they look bad today.
No, that's what I'm saying.
like
though.
it's
Like,
amazing
compare
how
them to all the
cheap
other ones.
action
Yeah.
figures look today.
Yeah.
Like I was looking at those.
Unless you get like the Hot Toys versions.
Yeah,
and
we're
stuff.
buying the
Yeah.
ones from the old, like when we were younger. We're going out
Yeah.
our way to go to Amazon to
and
buy the old
that's
ones.
not nostalgia either. Like the
No.
quality of the
It's
paint
degrading.
is
Yeah.
worse.
Now
Like,
I'm gonna bring up something. If you guys remember, there's a Warner Brothers store at our local
Yeah.
mall. You remember that?
Yeah.
oh,
They
dude,
used to have all
they
the
had
action
huge statue
figures.
of
They had a
the
gr-
world's finest. So they had
And they had-
Batman and Superman.
They had a thing in the back.
They
We
were
could
super
go inside
realistic.
and play. It was like a tunnel, and you had like
I remember
Marvin
that.
Martian or
Yeah.
something in it.
They had the Gremlin right in the front entrance.
Yeah.
Wait,
Wow.
wait,
now
where-
nowadays it's a calendar store, I believe.
But there was
That's
the
sad.
statue of Superman and Batman.
Yeah.
Was,
Oh,
Wonder,
yeah.
I
was there a
remember
Wonder
that.
Woman
I
statue?
don't
or
I
was
don't
it just
remember
the
that. I just
world's
remember
finest?
Batman, Superman.
Which, by the way, they should have. Well,
made the
they would
movie.
have
of
wasted the title
Yeah.
on Batman v Superman if they call it the world's
World's
finest.
Finest.
But they should make a world's finest movie
that. Just adapt.
once these DC
yeah.
movies completely fail and they start over.
Yeah.
Well, to go full circle, my favorite 90s cartoon is, of course, Our Real Monsters. I do like Hey Arnold, but I love the way Our Real Monsters makes me feel, especially around Halloween time. I can watch it, puts me in that mood. I remember when I was younger watching it, I didn't become like a big fan of it until
Yeah.
years later. I still appreciated Our Real Monsters, but it wasn't until years later where I'm like, wow, this show is actually really good.
Oh yeah,
But I
Doug
love
was
it.
a good one too. Yeah,
I don't know. Watch us just humming it. We're gonna get copyright claimed
It's
just by doing
interesting, though,
that.
when you look back in the 90s, how many iconic cartoons were born from that, and then you compare it to now. There is an endless supply of like animators that really want to make cartoons and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Then you compare it to back then, like there were fewer, but you got more cartoons
so
I don't know.
that were iconic. I think
Maybe.
so these cartoon
it has a lot to
characters-
do with who's running the stations. and
True, but
stuff,
like I think as like the 90s, like Batman the animated series like changed TV animation completely.
yeah,
So we got a lot of great stuff then. But even still, like you look back at stuff like Animaniacs,
Oh yeah,
which people
Pinky the
love,
Brain.
but like
I
I,
don't really
rewatched
like
it. I don't
it.
think it was
Yeah.
very
Really?
good. Doug, I'm not sure about either.
Never
But like
watched it.
Rugrats was fine. SpongeBob started in the late 90s. But I think
SpongeBob, yeah.
cartoons today, There's a lot of ones I don't like at all. Like Powerpuff Girls, I think is one of the best cartoons ever made. But
the girls are very aggressive.
They're super violent, but that's the joke. The joke is that they're cute, but
the contrast between that.
But like it's clever or not. Well, it's lowbrow. It's not clever, but it's really funny. It knows what it is, and it does that well. And but I think cartoons say like Rick and Morty and stuff like that.
Oh yeah,
I think
Rick and Morty's good.
You can get away with more
speaking
cartoons
more
today.
Kid cartoons though.
But like I think we have more adult cartoons today.
Oh, absolutely.
Thanks to the rise of Adult Swim.
Yes.
So
But
yeah.
you get it's like kind of
a trade-off, I guess.
There's a trade-off. I think kid shows today are probably not as good as they were, but adult shows there's more variety.
That's true.
There's been a shift though, and like most cartoons today, like in the 90s, you had I think more variety and comedy and a lot of action cartoons.
Yeah.
And then somewhere in like 2005, like around mid.
That's when they started.
That's when they start. Like now it's all comedy.
Yeah.
There's very little straight up action cartoons today, which kind of sucks, I guess. Because but like you'll see cartoons like Rick and Morty again. Like there's cool action scenes in it, or you'll see. I can't think of other action cartoons today, but they're mostly comedies first with action elements.
Yeah.
But we don't get like Batman Beyond today.
Yeah.
Or anything like
I was
that.
gonna say that you
Batman
read my
Beyond.
mind. I love Batman
is so
Beyond.
good.
It's so good.
Yeah, I remember that one.
I almost, I think I like it better than the animated series, the original.
Batman Beyond was like how I got really deep into Batman. It helped build my Batman
Terry McGinnis, the Batman in that show. His girlfriend is such a babe.
All the girls in that show are so good looking. There's
that's
almost every
Bruce
girl.
Timm started off doing a lot of porn.
Yep.
Yeah. To bring it down a minute.
Bruce Timm, for everyone out
Bruce
there who
Timm's
doesn't know
the
who Bruce
art-
Timm is,
yeah.
he's the reason why Batman was awesome in the 90s. He's the reason the animated series.
He made the
was so good.
definitive Batman.
But you know that like in Batman Beyond, most of the females in that show were pretty attractive.
Yeah, let's talk about what about the most attractive
animated
cartoon character girls.
Ooh,
Which one's got you nice and ready?
They
to
weren't attractive,
hold
but
some
growing
hands?
up, I was always like, I wasn't like attracted to them, but how they it was Ed and Eddie girls. What are their names?
Oh, the Kinker sisters.
Yeah,
Marie.
they really got me.
Marie.
Yeah, yes.
Me, Nathan, and Neil we were talking about the most like the characters we had crushes on as kids.
When I was a kid,
cartoon
yeah,
characters. And it was Marie Kinker,
Yeah.
the one with the blue hair.
Yeah.
She was too good for the other two. The other two were.
The other two were scary.
They were always there. They're always getting involved with something.
Yeah.
You know, like they were really. I don't know. I like that. I don't know. I like Ed and Eddie.
And Plank.
Oh, Plank was sexy.
Yeah.
Who was the dude with the red hat? The bully dude.
Oh,
Not Johnny.
Kevin.
Kevin. Yeah.
Kevin. Yeah.
Kevin.
Voiced by what's her face, who did Dot and Reboot, one of the best
Ooh,
animated shows
reboot.
ever made.
You have some reboot action figures.
I have the entire show on DVD. I got action figures. I got art books, and I got a heart full of.
Sadness.
Well, yeah.
I collect action figures. I remember I came by your crib one day and you actually had them displayed on your wall, the action figures, unopened. And that kind of inspired me a little bit because I usually always put them on my desk. When you leave them in the package, you can't really display it on your desk.
You can't enjoy it
until I saw on the wall. I'm just like, oh man! So I kind of like took your style a little bit. I put them on my wall, but I'm more of an action figure on my desk kind of guy.
Let me tell you something about that, Steve. See, when you bring a lady up into your room and they see that all the packages they're not opened, it shows that you have a little bit of restraint.
Or it shows she's not going to open
that you're willing to
you.
wait just a little bit before you unpackage them and slam them on your bed right next to those action figures.
You bend all their joints.
Yeah.
It's all mind game. It's a power play, and that's
The dentist.
also why I'm very alone, and always will be. I'm content.
It's always why you're very alone because I think you're all packaged up already. They think you're not going to come out of that package.
You're not
Vacuum
You're not going to reveal the package.
So you're not playing hard to get. You're playing never get up until you break that plastic. You break out of there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's good. I need to fill her up.
Here we go. Let's get a little fill up. Little fill up.
What about what's the best cartoon of today?
Today?
You can't say Rick and Morty. Besides Rick and
Well,
Morty.
that's Rick and Morty's pretty. But we can't.
I don't really watch anymore.
Hey.
Shit, that's tough.
I don't know. I mean, I watch South Park, Rick and Morty. It's the only cartoons I
You
watch.
said cartoon. You're not talking shows. Like you're talking just cartoons.
Well, shows in general. We'll say shows.
You could say
Ooh, TV shows in general, I think, are better now, way better now than
They're
90s.
too serialized though, where now you have to watch the entire series in order to get any enjoyment.
It works good for drama though.
It does,
Breaking
but when
Bad.
every single show is like that, it's hard to get into them.
Yeah, I think that's. I was watching a video, Rebel Taxi, very good channel where he reviews animated shows, but he was talking about like the death of action cartoons today, and a big reason is because they're mostly serialized. So like that's why shows like Korra might have failed, Legend of Korra, and elsewhere, and shows like that, just because it's harder to get people into your show when they have to catch up on all the previous
that's
episodes.
The thing. You can't
that's why
just
Cartoon
turn on-
Network only plays Teen Titans Go now, because you can jump in at any point.
SpongeBob, where reset every episode's just a different episode. Like nothing follows. That's what
It's
you're
all
saying,
standalone.
right? Yeah.
Cartoon Network, and not to be again, because it's not just the '90s; it's the early 2000s too, and not just to be nostalgic about it. But I was watching a lot of like the bumpers and promos during the time of the '90s, and Cartoon Network put so much effort into like the advertisements for the shows. They became their own thing. They were just advertisements. Like they would have the cartoon, so you'd see skits with different characters interacting with each other. Johnny Bravo and interacting with the Powerpuff
Johnny
Girls.
Bravo. Wow,
and
I forgot
all
about that
kinds
guy.
of really funny situations. And then also they would do
Hey, Pretty
those
Mama.
music videos.
Yeah.
There's that one with
There was
Signals.
Apples in Stereo for Powerpuff Girls.
There was one. Was that the one with
That was the one where they
the
had
live action Powerpuff Girls one
and it
where
had
they
the
have
monster.
monster
Yeah, that was Apples in
destroying the
Stereo.
city?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, dude, I remember that.
The
signals
signals
in
in
the
the sky. That's when you know that you have
Yeah.
to fly. Oh,
And now Cartoon Network has Teen Titans Go, and that's if you
That's
look
all
at
they
their
got.
schedule,
It's
that's,
literally that
They play it
marathoning.
all day.
Yeah.
it's that.
Well, Adult
and
Swim comes in at the end. Adult Swim.
That's all that's left.
It's like
They
what,
bring it all together.
really.
They bring it all together.
Adult Swim is like what MTV was back in the day, because like
It's
MTV,
for our generation,
back
yeah.
when MTV first started, or I'd say like late '80s, early
Yeah,
'90s,
actually,
and
when it
stuff,
actually played music.
They played music, but they also would have stuff like Beavis and Butthead, and more experimental
Yeah.
animation and shows, and that's what Adult Swim is today. Like
It's kind of the next generation for that.
So I'm glad we have Adult Swim. I don't even know what's on Nickelodeon anymore. I'm guessing
I don't know.
I
SpongeBob
don't
still.
even
And
know. I thought SpongeBob was getting canceled.
I think they maybe the show ended and they only do specials now.
Yeah,
Who
I stopped following SpongeBob.
'Cause I know they
but-
did one with
Yeah,
Johnny Depp, but that might have been
Johnny Depp?
a while ago. Yeah, he was.
He was on SpongeBob?
Yeah,
They're
What?
really
not
going
not
for-
like he voiced a character.
Oh,
in it.
he was
But
physically.
that was a while ago.
Okay.
Speaking of big actors
Wait,
on
wait,
TV shows, was he? Wait, was he really on?
he was on SpongeBob?
Yeah.
Like what? They drew him in there?
No,
he voice
played
acted.
he played a fish man.
You just said he wasn't voicing anything.
No, I said he was voicing.
And Ryan Gosling was in All You're Afraid of the
Clean out your
Dark.
bad ears, Batman.
And it's I don't know if it's
And
real.
also Goosebumps.
Anakin
Yeah.
Skywalker was in Goosebumps. He's Zane.
Yeah, his name
I
was
don't
Zane.
know. I don't know if
Be
it's
seeing you
Night
soon,
of the Living Dummy
cuz.
Part 3.
That was my
Ah,
favorite as a
Goosebumps,
kid.
That is
man.
ironically because Christian Haydensen's in it, which
What about
that's
the
the
mask?
best acted episode in Goosebumps.
ironically, yeah.
I can
But-
hear the intro in my head right now.
What about the
We're talking about Goosebumps or Are You Afraid of the Dark?
Are you afraid of dark?
Yeah.
both were kind of in the mix, but how, like, fuck, what are you saying? Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say Christian Haydenson is not a bad actor. People hate him
George Lucas.
because he was Anakin in the Star Wars prequels, but
Anakin, you gotta play with
He had-
Jar Jar Binks.
well, I mean, no actor could make the dialogue sound good. Christian Haydensen's fine.
next line, you
gotta Between- turn, okay. and
then you turn away.
You were
And
saying
he's very
wait, you were
handsome,
saying
too.
wait, what's your favorite Goosebumps? So-
Either Night of the Living Dummy Part 3 or
What are your thoughts on the Haunted Mask?
I love that one.
This Halloween I watched
Carly
it.
Beth.
Yeah. Was it Carly or Harley?
It was Carly
Carly
Beth.
Carly Beth, Carly Beth,
Carly Beth.
Carly Beth, you're really scary. When she puts a mask on, looking in the mirror,
Yeah.
it's like, oh,
And the kid from Billy Madison, the long-haired dweeb
wait,
from Billy
he's in the Haunted
Madison.
Mask.
What?
He's in the Haunted Mask. He's also in an
Oh.
episode. He's in my favorite episode of Are You Afraid of the Dark?
Which one?
Tale of the Ghastly Grinner. The one with the jester.
Yeah.
Who comes out of the
okay.
comic book, and if he touches you or if he grabs you, you
gotta call the
you become a
police?
dum-dum. Blue stuff comes out of your mouth. You become an idiot.
What
It's
was
like
the
you get a
one-
lobotomy or something.
What was the one where the guy was in the swimming pool?
Tale
That's-
of Dead Man's
Oh.
Float.
As I say, it's just
Yeah.
everyday life.
Yeah.
That one was kind of creepy.
The kid that's in that episode's also in Goosebumps in Camp Nightmare. Both shows were in
Camp
Canada.
Wanna.
We're
I
filmed
feel
in
like
Canada,
I
so-
feel like how Goosebumps and Are You Afraid of Dark is how most drivers for Lyft and Uber drive for both.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that's
That's kind of how it
that's
is.
good,
That's,
yeah.
that's how I see it.
No, bringing back what the 90s had, which we don't have today. I hate saying that. 90s. Only 90s.
I
kids
remember.
will
I remember.
But I think like there's no equivalent to Are You Afraid of the Dark or Goosebumps today for kids to have like
No.
a show,
American
An
Horror
anthology.
Story.
an anthology, but like a show that kids can watch.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That
American
gets
Horror
them into
Story isn't
horror.
for the kids. I think
No, I'm
you're
trying to
talking
be
about this.
sarcastic.
I agree with that. There should be a kids show that's scary.
should
Because the
be.
reason I love horror films today is because I was watching Are You Afraid of the
Yeah.
Dark and Goosebumps
There's
as
stuff
a
like
kid.
that, yeah.
And then
Gremlins,
and then move
Critters,
on to Gremlins is the next step.
Yep.
And then you know
Nowadays we got movies like Krampus, but
Krampus. If
Krampus,
you haven't
great.
seen,
Great movie.
Fantastic.
it's so
great
good.
movie.
No, I'm not even ironically.
no,
like,
that's
that is
just
a
a
great.
fantastic.
Didn't we all go
I
into that
love
thinking it was
movie.
gonna like flop, and then we all went out loving it?
Yeah.
I had no interest in that until I saw the Red Letter media
Media's, yeah,
review
yeah.
where they were talking about. I thought the review was a joke.
Really?
But well, at first because
Oh,
they were
when you
talking
see
because I saw the previews. I'm like Krampus, like really you're making
Yeah.
a movie on this?
That one
Because-
came out a few years ago, right?
But it like the monsters in that movie are scarier.
Oh, man.
Like the
than,
Jack in the Box
The
one?
Jack in the Box. I don't even want to spoil it. Just
Yeah.
if you have any curiosity in watching a
fun.
good horror comedy that has good horror elements,
Krampus.
Krampus.
It's Christmas too, right?
2015's
Krampus.
Krampus is
Give it a.
I actually want to get the art book for that.
yeah. I'd say it's. I know you're not a fan of the new It movie, but I'm saying
I don't-
you seen it?
Did you see
Yeah,
it?
I saw it.
Wow, you actually went to a
But,
theater?
like-
What?
You went to a theater?
Yeah, I did. Unfortunately, that was the one I went
You went
for.
to-
But
it's.
It was good. It wasn't bad.
it wasn't bad. It just didn't
I
do
would s-
anything for me.
Okay.
I didn't think it was scary. Like,
It
I mean, it was scary, but I didn't think it was as scary as people
Well,
hyped it up to.
I'm
It's
saying
just
the-
disturbing.
that's what I
It's
mean.
disturbing.
When I was
though.
watching that movie, I was reminded of Krampus, and in my house thinking, this is almost as good as Krampus.
I wouldn't say
So,
that.
like, if you saw, what I'm trying to say is, if you saw it and you thought like the different designs from the monsters and Pennywise looks creepy or scary, and you liked them, Krampus is even better.
But what makes Krampus even better though is that it's PG-13, not even R.
it's more it's
yeah.
more accessible.
And usually when a horror movie's rated PG-13, I'm like, oh, they're holding so much back.
Well,
but
with
with Krampus, that's why I was scared going into Krampus because I'm like, oh, they're gonna be like hiding everything. They're gonna keep it too PG for the kids.
Yeah.
A lot of PG-13 movies should be R, and you can tell they were cutting shit out. You know what I'm saying? Well, Krampus could have been R. It didn't need to be.
No.
It didn't need to be R.
Yeah.
It didn't need to be, but it was PG-13 and it was still scarier than it was.
Yeah,
I'll
I
agree.
say that.
Yeah.
They just didn't say the
And
word
also
fuck.
the
That's all.
like the atmosphere of Krampus is, it's like got a really
blizzard,
good
you feel
Christmassy.
trapped, yeah.
Blizzard,
does feel very
atmosphere where it's
Christmassy, yeah.
cozy but also uncomfortable
Yeah.
because and it works really
You're
well
really
because the family
isolated
and
in that
everything,
movie
yeah.
they all hate each other and then
they're
they're stuck,
forced to
they're
be
cramped in
together.
with each
Yeah.
other, they're cramped.
They're cramped.
Oh,
in.
I see what they did there.
Can I go pee pee?
Yeah, we should take a break.
A little break.
Yeah, I think it's time for a break. I gotta get this mask off for a few minutes.
I'll take a little break. All right.
And break.
You know what we should do? We should talk about movies that we hate, but talk about them as if we love them. I think Catwoman starring Halle Berry is just an excellent film. It's very, it's
Expertly
it's about
crafted.
female empowerment, but also it's just a very
Well,
Making them
tale.
look beautiful.
moving tale. I know I'm just talking about that cat tail.
very
I'm
inspirational.
talking about
I was inspired by it.
the editing is so
Sublime.
it is.
So
Daredevil.
unique.
Daredevil.
The one-liners
Oh, yeah.
the one-liners are perfect.
I went in blindly and saw Daredevil. I didn't watch any
The movie or
previews.
show.
Blindly, I get it. Because that fucker's blind.
Steve, it's okay. He'll get through it.
Have you ever,
No.
Jeff? Have you ever had bad sex wearing that costume?
Nope.
Never.
Is that where you do it upside down?
Michael
It's a
Keaton.
bet
Michael
bone.
Keaton will always be my favorite live-action Batman.
Same here.
Michael Keaton, hell
Ke-
yeah.
Kevin
Batman
Conroy
Returns.
will-
I love
Conroy.
Batman
Kevin Conroy's
Returns.
the best animated.
He is
and
when I if
he's
I
more the
read,
definitive Batman,
Yeah.
I'd say, in general. But
but I think that's kind of cheating. The animated series Batman in general
That was
that
just a
is the
great
definitive
series,
everything
yeah.
of Batman.
Seriously, that's what I
So,
always think of
that
when I
doesn't
say
count.
Batman. Yeah, you're right.
All right, so
Yeah, you're
It's
right.
perfect.
something I really want to talk about.
Yes.
I am not ready.
Because we are filming this, a couple weeks after Halloween, but something that I really want to dive into. How do you get into the Halloween spirit to help people that are listening or watching get into the Halloween spirit for next year, or maybe they want to do it early and get into the spirit now. You know, what do you guys do? Do you guys do anything to get in the spirit? Because for me, I watch a lot of horror movies.
Yes.
I play my go-to. My album choice is Relapse by Eminem because he talks. It's a very dark
Certain
album.
video games.
Certain video games, yes. You play a little Silent Hill, a little Resident Evil, depending on
Castlevania Symphony of Night, Metroid Prime 2.
Okay.
Get me in the mood.
Little Real Monsters, maybe, depending on what you're into. But I just feel like there's different things on people do to get into the Halloween spirit, right?
Yeah.
But video games, that's a huge one.
That's one of those
horror
things,
movies.
I always play 2 video games every year, which, like I just said, Castlevania Symphony of the Night and Metroid Prime 2. I try to marathon movies, but again, that doesn't happen. It's like, kind of depends on how much time I have.
Mm-hmm.
But there's certain movies, like every year I make a point to watch Alien, Critters, because that's my tradition since I was a little kid. I always grew up watching that movie.
Since you were a little critter.
I had a friend tell me, he's like, I was asking about Halloween. He's like, yeah, I'm working Halloween. But I wasn't asking that question. I was asking, like, what are you doing to, like, kind of like, Halloween really is just one day.
It's
but
a
like,
mood, though.
You got to get into it.
The day is the climax.
Because if you wait to get into it Halloween day, you're doing it wrong.
Yeah, you're wasting the month.
You're wasting the whole month. You got to, like, not every day, but slowly but surely get into the spirit, feel it out.
When I was younger, I used to watch AMC had Monster Fest. Back then, that's when they used to show, like, the classic Universal monster movies. And those really got me in the mood. But then as time went on, it just became slasher movies. Then they changed it to Fear Fest, and it got canceled. But so I tried it. There's certain movies that you gotta make sure you watch.
It's true. Yeah, you gotta get into it.
Yeah.
Jeff, do you do anything?
I'm not as much as you guys do, but one thing I do enjoy is, well, like we did the one day, just going to Halloween stores. It doesn't even matter if you're not even buying anything. Just being in a Halloween store is fun.
Putting a little mask on.
Oh yeah. I think we hit 2 stores.
I think we had a couple of them, yeah.
But even like past years, we used to do that. Like we'd just hop from store to store and just say, you don't like I said, you don't go in there. You don't have to buy anything.
Did that
But
in
you
high school.
just
The
to see
smell
the
of
new stuff,
latex.
the new masks that stuff that come out. Like this year, I think I sent them to you. All those like live the animal masks.
Anal?
Yeah,
Wait, they have anal masks?
You got a big
animal mask. They had a panda one where
I really wanted an anal mask.
Oh, I know
They
which
have
ones you're talking about. The
and
animatronic
it
ones.
hooks to your jaw, and when you open your mouth, it like snarls.
Yeah,
and
it's like got
it's got
animal
blood on it.
yeah.
I
just,
That was so
You
cool.
just said that to me. Yeah, that was
They had
pretty
some
dope.
bear and wolf looking ones that
I've
look
seen
real.
those. One thing I want to try next year is to, over the course of October, build a costume. Like, actually craft it by hand.
Mm-hmm.
I want to try and make a RoboCop costume.
That's how a lot of people, like, especially at events like conventions like YomaCon or Comic-Con, a lot of people will build their costumes.
It's always fun, like piecing together.
Because the problem is, with, like, especially with that Batman costume, even with this Panda one, even the B one, it's like they're not built like.
No.
You can tell they're poorly made. They're very cheap. And they overprice that shit too. Like this probably looks like it's worth like $20. I paid like $60 for it online. Not worth it.
Back when we were little, I used to make a Saiyan armor out of costume. So like out of cardboard. So I tried to make like a Vegeta costume and stuff, and that was fun. But
hell yeah! You gotta give me some of that costume supply so I can make some costumes too. Like cardboard costume supply.
It's a very tough skill to master, but
hell yeah,
I'll pass it on to you.
Yeah, I give credit to all the people who can like build props.
Oh yeah,
I don't think
there's so many good people,
especially
out
the ones
there.
where they look like movie quality or like look legit. Like that's
something I've always wanted to be able to
my go-to
build that.
place where I buy props is Etsy.
Yeah,
Etsy,
that's great.
They have
great
so.
site.
Yeah, where'd you get the mask from?
This one actually, where the heck did I find it? I found it on like a Facebook fan page for like a Batman thing, and then I think it was made in China. To tell you the truth, I think I paid 185 shipped.
That's not bad.
That looks awesome.
But you've seen my other the Christian Bale.
Yeah,
that one was like movie quality.
Some actual movie studios will actually build props that you can buy, like Studio ADI, which does like a lot of practical animatronics and stuff for movies nowadays. But they did a lot of the Alien movies.
Cool.
You can Sideshow Collectibles. They do mostly miniatures and stuff, but you can buy props on there that they like. I got a chest burster replica that they built, which is pretty cool.
Oh, nice.
Sweet.
Well, Joe, what do you do to get in the mood?
This year I didn't get in the mood.
Really?
You're never in the mood for Halloween?
Not this year. I usually, watch horror films.
Are you in the mood now, damn it? Are you in the mood now?
No.
But what about the pumpkins on the table?
Last year,
I put these up here.
Orange cups. Is Halloween.
Orange cups. I'm on my way to get these orange cups. I got the pumpkins. I got the Real Monsters. You're not even in the mood now?
It's not about the pumpkins. It's about the mindset.
Yeah.
Where's your mind at? Where's your mind for Halloween this past year? What's going on here?
I'm kind of bummed. I never got in the Halloween spirit this year.
This year it kind of slipped by
what
me
happened.
too.
when you were saying you don't like Christmas music early, that's why I'm like, no, the earlier the better, so you can get in the mood of it. Don't rush it all at once. Let it come in slow.
Last year, I got really into Halloween. I watched a horror film every day.
Yeah.
I was watching mostly horror films I haven't seen before, but I would splice in ones I love, like The Fly, starring Jeff Goldblum, and The Thing.
Yep.
Very
Very good one.
Thing. I watched Suspiria, and that movie, was the movie. Society's a great one, but the movie that got me into the mood last year was Suspiria. Once I saw that movie, my whole mindset
I haven't seen that one
shifted.
yet. What about Candyman?
Candyman is
I always
half
like the
good,
actor
half
in it.
not good.
Is
Like
that-
it's different.
Yeah, I like the actor. He was in the remake of Night of Living Dead.
Yes, he was also in. He was in the couple of the Final Destination movies.
Every time when we're driving, we went to a few concerts the last month or two, and we drive down the highway, and we always talk about like Final Destination, like stuff happening with cars.
Oh yeah, when they're driving in front of you, anything could fall off and you're dead right there.
We always reference those movies. We see something dangerous on the road in front of us, so like we just think of the potential of like, oh, that vehicle in front of us that could fall off and hit us.
So I'm going through the comments because we're all on episode 1 of the Cardinals Nest podcast, the most popular podcast on the internet.
Everywhere.
Cardinals Nest. Everyone knows it's the most talked about, most played
Multiple
podcast of all time.
universes.
One of the most commented was that we weren't close enough to the mics. But I think right now we're all pretty good.
Is this good enough for you?
Is this good enough? You can hear my voice now.
Another one. He says, "Oh, how the mighty have fallen from 100 million views to 50K views. Good night, sweet prince."
Your mom didn't love you enough as a child, did she?
To this day, I have so many videos that still are very under the radar. No one even knows about it. Not everyone, but a lot of people are like, oh, he has a video with this many views. If this one doesn't get that many views, then he sucks. He's irrelevant. He fell off. Like, I never feel that way.
Who cares, though, about the views? That's
That's
the
what
fun
I'm,
of it.
Even if it gets no views. Let's say we post this, it gets 1,000 views for like 100 years. That's fine.
It's just a nice little time capsule.
It's a little time capsule. But what's cool is if I post this, tomorrow.
Yeah.
Let's say, fast forward a few years later, views could come in. It could gather views over time. But beyond that, it's just like we're having fun. We're speaking our mind. This is like our life right now. Yeah. But people just base everything off views and numbers. It's like, oh, it only has, because I think 70,000 views are a lot of people.
Oh, yeah.
50,000 views. 1,000 views are a lot. They judge it off your past, what you did in the past. Oh, you got 1 million views then, but now you're only looking at this many views. You suck. You're irrelevant. You're dead now.
With you going through every negative comment, people are going to post negative
Fueling the
comments
fire.
because they want their comment read.
That's true.
Because the whole reason you comment on something
is to get
negatively.
I got good ones out here I'm going to read.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was going to say, like, if I were to comment on a video and tell a person they're irrelevant, and, I'm not saying I have or haven't, but I have, maybe.
Joe's the one who...
No, real quick, I don't want to mess you. I don't want to interfere, but I feel like irrelevant is the new... Cause I think cringy used to be so overused. The new word for...
Still is, but...
It still is. Cringy is still so overused, but I think irrelevant is a new, like, cringy popular word on the internet.
True. It's the up-and-coming one.
Yeah, irrelevant is, like, more overused than cringy is now.
Yeah. Kids
Kids love that word. Another comment we got, I like this one. They said, "I never expected it, but I'm pleasantly surprised."
About what?
Our podcast, our first episode. This one, we might not get those comments. They might hate us this episode. But, hey, people are liking what we're throwing down. Jared has no brain, says, "Tell your guests to scoot the fuck up, son."
Oh, God.
Audio was
Sorry, Jared.
Audio was too meh for a podcast. But, hey, you're back. Episode 1 was enjoyed, dude. But, hey.
You know what? That was constructive criticism.
I love you, Steve, but some of your older videos feel cringy now. Glad you're doing a podcast, though. It's entertaining when you get to know the people behind the content.
That was nice. That was
very nice. Hey,
yeah.
Thanks.
He's being constructive.
It's just you change over time, so your tastes change. That's why you go back and you
Brooke?
see stuff.
No, everything's perfect.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Another comment.
you don't
She
grow
says,
at
"I
it."
hope this continues. Love it."
It's continuing, baby.
Yeah, we're going right now. I really like the skits between conversation. Love your stuff. We can't really cut to any skits for
We
this
gotta
podcast
talk about we gotta talk about something fast that we can refer to a skit.
We can't force it. We're not Weinsteins here.
Alex Polo says, irrelevant. Mr. Alex has been using cringy for about a couple years now. He got bored with it. Now he's going irrelevant.
Got him.
Got him. Well, this was a little bit of a Halloween special thrown in the mix.
Cardinal Cast, episode 3.
Throw it in the trash.
I want to thank Ty for coming back.
Don't ever talk to me ever again.
I want to thank Jeff,
cutting off all
the Batman, for coming back.
You're welcome.
I want to thank Mr. Joe Tinder Bumblebee for coming back. And I want to thank myself, most importantly, for always waking up in the morning and coming back to the podcast. Here we are. We did it.
Well, I wake up every morning.
Well, we do wake up.
I don't
think that this was the worst podcast episode of all time, but it's probably in about the top 1,000, right?
It's bad.
Maybe in the,
You might only get one Oscar.
it may be number 2.
The thing is, I want to keep putting my toes in this whole podcast world.
Wait, what? Why would you put your?
Oh,
toes
don't bring
in
up
a
toes. We know
podcast?
what happens last time.
Well, we'll wrap it up right here. I want to thank everyone for listening and watching, and I hope you guys have a very, very good day, very good night. Thank you very much.
Peace out, Girl Scouts.